Hi guys, hope you are having a fabulous testing week. And don't forget to check on those stocks. If you missed a day, you can always go back and look at the historical data. But remember, that's part of your PBA that you've been working on. Check out those stocks. And as part of the PBA, thinking of the PBA, remember another part of it is investing in CDs, which is what we are going to be learning about today. So as we are doing this, think about how much you still have as you part of your $350. How much of that $350 you have available each month you would like to invest in CDs. All right, so here is what we are going to be doing today. We're going to discuss the function of CDs. We talked about it in those videos or assignments that you did yesterday. We're also going to compare CDs and savings accounts and perform some calculations concerning early redemption fees or early withdrawal fees. All right, so these are the three options of what you can do with a CD when it matures. Remember that a CD is very similar to a savings account, only you get a higher interest rate in return for stating that you will keep your money in the account longer. If you withdraw your money early, you will get a fee, which we will talk about. But once it matures, you do have the option of either withdrawing, renewing, or reinvesting. So these are the three options. So let's actually go through and calculate it. So calculating interest with a CD, and you will see these steps as well in your guided notes. Remember this fun formula from Consumer Math A, the future value formula for compound interest, same as the compound interest formula. We have here that P, yawn in there. P is the principal. R is the periodic interest rate, so keep that in mind, periodic interest rate. And T is the number of compounding periods. So, remember that CDs as well as any other types of savings accounts can be compounded quarterly, monthly, or I'm sorry, missed that there. Back up. There we go. Trying to get my pointer working. There's my pointer. They can be compounded annually, quarterly, which means 4 times a year, monthly, which is 12 times a year, or even daily, which is 365 days in a year. All right, so let's look at an example here. We have a CD for $500 that earns 3% APR and is compounded quarterly. The CD matures in 2 years. How much will it be worth at maturity? All right, well, we have our future value formula up there. Notice we need to know the principal, the periodic interest rate, and T, the number of periods. Well, principal, that's the beginning amount, that's the $500. Interest rate, which is the periodic interest rate. Notice the APR is 3%, so the periodic interest rate is going to be 3% divided by 4, since it is quarterly, 4 times a year. And T, the number of periods, since we are doing 2 years and 4 periods each year, 2 times 4, or 8, will be the number of periods. So if we put that into our formula, 500 times 1 plus, we have our periodic interest rate there, raised to the 8th power, and that equals $530.80. Again, be very careful if you're putting it into the calculator. See how it is up here. That fraction we put in parentheses, and then for the exponent, we put those extra parentheses in there so it knows that it does not raise 500 to the exponent. Just the 1 plus the periodic interest rate gets raised to that exponent. All right, your turn. Suppose you buy a CD for $250 and it earns 2.75% APR and again is compounded quarterly. CD matures in just 1 year. How much will it be worth at maturity? Take a moment and answer that question. All right, hopefully you got an answer. Here it is. It will be worth $256.95. Alrighty. Try another one. Suppose you buy a CD for $2,000. It earns 2.5% APR, but it is compounded monthly. Compounded monthly. The CD matures in 3 years. How much will it be worth? Take a moment, answer the question. All right, here is the answer. It will be worth $2,155.60. Hopefully you got that answer as well. Notice you're dividing by 12 there since it is being compounded monthly this time. All right, CDs. You do have that option of having your interest paid to you throughout the year instead of keeping it in the account. It can be paid right to you. If the interest is compounded quarterly, you will be paid each quarter. If it's compounded monthly, you would get paid each month. To calculate the interest that you would get each month or period, you would use the simple interest formula. So let's practice one of those. Here is the formula for simple interest. Interest equals principal times rate. Again, this rate is the periodic interest rate. And T, number of periods. So let's try an example here. Suppose we buy a CD for $100 that earns 2.5% interest rate for 10 years, compounded quarterly, and the interest will be paid out to me each quarter. How much interest do you earn in the first quarter? Well, let's look here. Principal, it's $100. My periodic interest rate, 2.5% divided by 4 since it is quarterly. And the T, 1. Since we want to know how much will be earned in the first quarter, T will be 1. Put it in the put it in the simple interest formula. 100 times my periodic interest rate times 1 tells me that I will earn 63 cents in the first quarter. How much will I earn in the second quarter? See if you can consider this. All right, hopefully you've made a guess. Again, I'm going to earn 63 cents since it's the second quarter. It's the same amount I earn in the first quarter, same amount you'll earn in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. You earn 63 cents each quarter. How much will you have earned in interest in total after the third quarter? Take a moment to answer this one. All right. Here again, a simple interest formula, only this time my period is 3. Number of periods is 3 since I want to know after the first 3 quarters. Total amount of interest I would earn? $1.88. And yes, you could have done the same thing with taking that 63 cents times 3 since it is 3 periods. What if I wanted to know how much interest I would earn after 10 years? Again, if we know the amount that is earned in the first quarter. So think about that for a minute. Can we use that 63 cents to help us find out how much we would earn in 10 years? All right, hopefully you've done that. You'll notice I would multiply the amount of interest earned in 1 quarter times the number of quarters in 10 years, which would be 40. 4 times 10. You could also use that simple interest formula and put a T equaling 40 in there. It may be off just a little bit different because of rounding, but it's going to be pretty dang close. All right. So go ahead and calculate it. How much interest would I earn on this account? All right. There is the answer, 62.5, I'm sorry, yeah, 62.5 cents times 40 is $25. Alrighty. What if we would have, instead of having the interest withdrawn each month and given to me, what if I kept the interest in the account? How much would I earn? This is similar to what we were doing at the very beginning when we were trying to find the value of the account after however many years it takes to mature. So again, we would use our compound interest formula, and we would find the amount of interest we would have earned if we left it in there, $28.30. So if we kind of compare that here, if I have the interest paid out to me each month, I would earn $25. But if I left the interest in the account, I could use the compound interest formula or future value formula to find out I would earn $28.30. Not much difference on this amount because again it's $100 for 10 years, but think about it if it was something, a much larger amount like $10,000, you can see it would add up a bit more. All right. So remember we said the trade-off for the higher interest rate for a CD is that there is lower liquidity. I think we've talked about liquidity a little bit. Liquidity means how quickly can we turn something into cash. A CD definitely has lower liquidity than a savings account would. Savings accounts, you can just withdraw the money. In a CD, remember we said if you take the money out before it matures, you would get a penalty. And the penalty is generally 3 months interest, same as 1/4's amount of interest. And it is called an early redemption fee. So here's an example. If we had a CD with $100 of principal and 3% APR compounded quarterly, the fee using the simple interest formula, 100 times 0.03 divided by 4 times 1, since it's one period of interest, would be 75 cents. So I would have to pay 75 cents to withdraw my money early. So here's another example. We have a CD for $400 that gets 4% APR on 1 year, and it is compounded quarterly. What would be the early withdrawal fee on this account? So there we go, simple interest formula. We would find it's $4. Suppose you want to take your money out 3 months ahead of time. What is the value of the account at this time before you assess the fee? So you want to find the value, again compounded quarterly. The number of periods is 3. So you can see there 400 times 1 plus, my interest rate is 4%, then I divide by 4 because it is quarterly, and I raise it to the 3rd power because it's gone through 3 periods. I'm withdrawing my money 3 months early, so I'm not going through with that last period of the year. So I only get through 3 periods. The money would be worth $412.12. How much would I get back after the fee? Remember my fee was $4. So $412.12 minus 4, $408.12. So I would get $408.12 back. How much money did I earn in interest accounting for that fee? Remember, if you want to find out how much money that you have earned in interest, see if you can figure it out here. All right, hopefully you've had a chance to figure it out. Remember, you take the amount of interest and subtract your original amount you put in. So you put $400 in, and I find out I made $8.12. and I could find the percent of money earned as well.